So if Batman is comparing you to a kiss from a rose on a grave, then surely the grave is the grave of his parents. So he compares everyone he loves to his dead parents. Hello and welcome to Science Fiction Double Feature Podcast, podcast number 57, always been on podcast. This is my co-host Terry. Say hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good. I'm drinking a black beer, and I got to meet Elmo. So it's been a good day.
What a day. Oh my. How was Elmo?
Yeah, it was all
Was
right.
he
No,
was he a
no,
douche?
he was all right. He was pretty good. He was like a man of the common people. He was a man of the common people. Or a
Okay,
Muppet.
he's running for the Senate, I believe.
Oh, well, he's better than the other Muppets they got in there.
Hey,
Hey.
fair enough. So did you meet anyone else? Did you meet Big Bird?
Big Bird was there, and Cookie Monster was there, Abby Kadabi, and Zoe.
I don't know
Um,
what Abby Kanabi is.
she's like a fairy.
Okay. Like the word
Um,
fairy?
what?
Like the word fairy? You don't know who the word fairy is. Don't wonder the word
No,
fairy? Yeah, fair
uh-uh,
enough.
no. She's a fairy monster, and she has a wand.
Fair enough.
Mm, yes.
Fair
My son wasn't overly impressed. He sat there for it, but he didn't crack a smile the whole time.
enough. He's so jaded at the whole. It's because you've shown him too much Furchester. He's
Maybe.
done with Muppets now.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because we watched The Dark Crystal the other week. So
Oh
now he's
wow.
got a new sense of the tone that Muppets can really take.
Of Maudlin. He's moved beyond it. He's outgrown Furchester Hotel, and now it's
Yes.
all horror Muppets. And show him the labyrinth. Show him David Bowie's. What's it?
Yeah, I will. I'll say if you misbehave, the Goblin King's going to steal you away.
Is what's going to happen. Oh my. All right. In a roundabout way, we've got around to the main subject. We normally here at the Science Fiction Double Feature Podcast, we talk about movies. We're going to talk about movie news, movie trailers, movies we've seen, and movies that are coming out. So, shall we do that? Do you have news, Terry?
I do have news, and I'm a little bit mixed on this news of if I like it or not. They're planning a remake of American Werewolf in London. Great horror movie from the 80s by John Landis. He wrote it and directed it, and it's got some great practical effects in there. It's a great movie. You should really watch it. But they're planning a remake of it, so I don't know. I love the classic so much that I don't want a remake of it. But then again, if they screw up the remake, I've still got the classic. But the interesting thing here that is Max Landis is actually going to be directing it, which is John Landis' son, and John Landis will be on as a producer. So they're kind of keeping it in the family, and hopefully, of course, John Landis is there as a producer. Maybe they won't go too far off track, and they won't go stupid with it. But yeah, so that's interesting in itself. Like Max Landis, he's wrote a fair few things, and I think he's done some directing on Walking Dead. So he's already in the horror zone. So yes, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not. It's interesting. That's what I'll say about it. Are you interested by Max Landis directing a new American Werewolf in London?
I think it's a lost opportunity that they haven't decided to make Son of American Werewolf in London from the son of the man who brought you American Werewolf in London. I
Well,
think that would be much more interesting.
maybe they will take it on. Maybe they the father who played the original, I can't think of his name, guy who turns into the werewolf. Maybe he can. Oh no, he gets shot at the end of that movie. He can't come back. I was gonna say they
Maybe.
can
Well,
bring
he's a
him back.
werewolf. Maybe
Oh,
he.
but he does have sex with the woman in there, so it could be his son. She could have a
Okay.
little fur baby.
Okay. So maybe they will make Son of an American Werewolf in London. They could call it. I don't know what they could call it. Oh, American Werepuppy in London. American Werepup in London. There you go. I'd
well,
watch that.
well, as long as it's better than Son of Chucky, because I watched that the other week too, and that's just terrible. Oh, he doesn't know whether he's a
Let's
boy
see.
or a girl. He's quite transgender. The son, it's very strange.
That's. Is it about things, or is that just like a weird turn of events?
It's a weird turn of events.
Yeah. That's no good.
But he makes quite a pretty girl doll when he's got like long hair on.
Well, I guess that's something.
But
Fair enough.
we've gone
Okay.
off track here. We've gone off track.
Yes, I think we have. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen an American Werewolf in London. Neither have I seen an American in Paris, which I really want to
Yeah,
see.
that's much worse.
What?
That's much worse. There's no need to
An
see it.
American?
Yeah, in
An American?
Paris.
The Gene Kelly? What?
Yeah, the American Werewolf
An,
in Paris is terrible. Don't bother.
no, I'm talking about an American in Paris. That's
Oh,
that's a
oh,
different
that
thing.
one.
That's a
That
Gene
is a
Kelly
different one.
movie.
Okay, I haven't seen that though either.
Okay. Um.
Ah,
So yes, I haven't seen an American Werewolf in Paris, so I don't know what to make of this remake nonsense. I don't think I've seen a Max Landis movie either, for whatever reason, because American Ultra didn't get released here, so none of that for me.
oh, but it'd be on.
Anyway,
You could rent that somehow. It'd be on streaming
probably
somewhere.
is on iTunes, but I haven't looked. So
Hmm.
anyway,
Well, we also got hit with a lot of Disney news last week. So I'm going to quickly just recap that. We got some stills from Beauty and the Beast, which we can see Belle in the big golden ball gown and up on a ladder in her little peasant clothes, and the Beast with his big horns, and some pictures of Limia, Cogsworth, and Mrs. Potts. So they all look pretty cool. And also that Disney announced they're doing a Snow White live adaptation, which is going to be a musical. So against what our friend Renee will think, this is fantastic. It's going to be great. And take that, Renee. I'm gonna make you watch these and enjoy them. I will make you enjoy them somehow. So
I was going to
I'm
be antagonistic all of a sudden.
well, she's stirring me up. She's not even listening to this yet, but she's going to stir me up about it. So I'm just getting ahead of things. Um, yeah, I reckon it's going to be really really cool. And they're going to create some new music for Snow White, and they've got the the lady who wrote The Girl on the Train, and she's in negotiations to write the script for Snow White. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I haven't seen Girl on the Train, so I don't know anything about her. That's just a little bit of fun fact for you. Yeah, so I know you don't care whatsoever about these films, but do you have any opinions, either
They
positive
sure
or
did.
negative?
Those photos sure did look like Beauty and the Beast.
They certainly did.
That's yeah. I don't care. It's yeah. I don't care. I just don't
Hmm.
care. Like, it
Uh,
looks exactly like a movie I saw in 1992 or whatever, so I'm good.
See, that's fine. I don't mind that you don't care about it. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I want to see Hermione in that ball gown, spinning and dancing and singing.
It just looks like really expensive cosplay, is what I thought it looked like, most of it. Which is fine, but I don't need to have a whole movie of that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What do you want to talk about then, Tim?
Yes, and we don't know much about Snow White at this point, so I don't have
No,
opinions on
there's
that
not
at all.
much. Just that they're making it.
Yes. All right.
Oh, do you
I
think? Wait,
have a
wait, wait. For Snow
yeah.
White, do you think they're going to get Kristen Stewart back?
I don't know. I hope they get Charlize Theron to play the evil queen. She
Ooh,
was magnificent.
no. Too many Snow Whites. Get away from the Snow Whites. New Snow White.
I think we're good. I think we've had enough Snow White, though, haven't we? I don't need to.
I want to see Disney Snow White because every other Snow White hasn't been the Disney one, and probably the Disney Snow White animation is one of my favorite of the Disney cartoons. Um, so yeah, I really enjoy that one. So I think it'll be good to see what Disney does with it, and yeah, yeah. Anyway, well, so what do you got? What do you got, Tim?
I forgot how ridiculous this was. So John Turturro played a very iconic character in The Big Lebowski, the fantastic Coen Brothers film, The Big Lebowski. He played, what was this? Jesus Quintara. And you may think he's Jesus, but no, he's Jesus. No one fucks with you, Jesus. And John Turturro is now going to uh, write and direct and star in a spin-off from The Big Lebowski about Jesus Quintara, which kind of sounds amazing until you realize it's also an adaptation of a very controversial 1974 French film called Going Places, about two French men who have a very ill-defined understanding of consent, as far as I understand, and travel about putting their dick in things and kind of using people. It's described here, though, as the follow-up centers on a trio of misfits whose irreverent, sexually charged dynamic evolves into a surprising love story as their spontaneous and flippant attitudes towards the past or future backfires time and again, even as they inadvertently perform good deeds. Jesus Quintara is a sex offender in The Big Lebowski. He's a pedophile. He's a straight up pedophile, which works as a throwaway gag. But so they're going to adapt a French film, a controversial French film, into a whimsical adventure about a pedophile, starring Bobby Cannavale, Audrey Tautou, Susan Sarandon, and Sonia Braga. So, what is this movie? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's like an indie comedy about sex offenders and their hijinks. This is the weirdest sounding thing ever. Have you seen The Big Lebowski yet? I don't know.
No, I haven't.
We didn't get around to watching it. Jesus Quintara is funny, but he's a sex offender, and now this is the movie. What? I don't know. It's just baffling to me that this is coming out. I don't know what this is. I can't believe it's real. I cannot believe it's real. My God.
Well, if
Have
it
you seen
helps, I've got nothing to say about it either.
Have you seen John Turturro in other things? He was in Transformers.
Yeah, I would have seen him in Transformers. I can't think. I can't even think what he looks like. Let me look him up.
He's a very iconic looking man. Very
He
characteristic.
is.
Was he in that movie about an old man who becomes a gigolo that came out?
Yeah, I was gonna say he was in the Woody Allen movie.
God, that was a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that doesn't. This just sounds baffling. Like it sounds completely tonally dissonant. And I want to see it because it sounds like just a beautiful train wreck. My God, it's going to be awful. My God, how can this exist? Anyway, all right. Well, if you've got nothing to say about it, we should move on because there's nothing to say about it because it defies analysis completely. Oh my God. All right, let's move on. Han Solo, the Han Solo movie is coming. So far, we've heard nothing but good things. Lord and Miller are attached. Alden Ehrenreich and Danny Glover are playing Han Solo and Lando Calrissian. The cinematographer, Bradford Young, who has most recently worked on Arrival, which I will hopefully see very, very soon, with Uproxx, whatever that may be, has stated that there was one film that Lord and Miller mentioned as an influence on the film, on the Han Solo film, from the American cinematic canon, that has sort of persuaded him to join the project. And he can't say what it is because it'll give away the entire movie. Yes, I got a guess. Do you have a guess?
I do have a guess.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do my guess first. It's kind of...
All right.
It's half a hope as well, because he says it's a brave choice, which to me means a Western or a gangster movie or a space obvious things that you might think a Han Solo movie might be. It's not about men going on wacky adventures. unless I guess it's Smokey and the Bandit. But even then,
Ooh.
that would be amazing. That would be perfect, actually.
That
Anyway,
would be really good.
I think it would be amazing if it turned into be the Breakfast Club of all things. The two movies that struck me as the complete antithesis of what you would expect a Han Solo movie to be, but still plausible, were When Harry Met Sally and The Breakfast Club. And I think The Breakfast Club is the most interesting concept. I like the idea of a bunch of misfits who get thrown into like Imperial prison for the day. And so in our case, Han Solo would be John Bender and Chewie would be Claire. And let's see, I think would be probably the Emilio Estevez. Um, I think Lobot would be Brian, Anthony Michael Hall's character, which I leaves, I guess, Stannis Staros, who's being, we think is being cast as, I guess, Ali Sheedy. No, wait, no, wait. I thought Lando should be Ali Sheedy because then he can sort of be all awkward and weird, but then he gets a makeover and then he's cool. Yes, I think that should be the movie. I hope it's The Breakfast Club. I think that would be fantastic if it somehow turns out to be The Breakfast Club.
I think mine's better.
What's yours?
Rear Window. I really hope. I really hope they've just got Han Solo. He's broken his leg somewhere, so he's just strapped on a planet somewhere with this enormous telescope. He can see what's going on. With Lando and Chewie are off having wacky adventures. He can see they're getting into trouble, so he's got to send them coded messages to say, "Hey, don't go out there. There's a killer out there." I think that'd be great. Just take him out of the whole movie and just have him with a broken leg.
Maybe it's a combination of Rear Window and The Odd Couple, where he's like stuck in his chair and he's observing what's going on in the apartments across the road, but he's mostly just watching like Chewie and Lando live together, and they're a match duo, so it doesn't go to. It's just they argue all the time, and it's hilarious.
Is Lando always upset because Chewie's leaving hairballs all over the lounge?
But Chewie is the Jack Lemmon, and
no, I see it the other way around.
And Lando's well, it is Donald Glover. I could imagine Donald Glover being like a great uptight character. To be honest, I think that would be fantastic.
I reckon a Wookiee would totally put his feet on the coffee table and just sit back and watch some sports.
I don't know, but Chewie's like super conscientious. I think he's like super capable. I think he'd be the one who's like, we have to keep this place clean. Maybe that's some of the tension. It's like, y'all always leaving their fur, but I clean it up. Maybe that's what it's like. I don't know. I hope it's The Breakfast Club.
I hope it's Rear Window. I hope they take Han Solo out of the movie altogether and just have him there watching on this giant space telescope everything that's going on.
It would kind of be good, I think, if Han Solo if it is like Lando and Chewie and people are doing like a cool heist, but Han Solo keeps just stumbling in and somehow just gets credit for everything, and that's where his reputation is completely unearned.
Oh,
he
like
just
Forrest Gump.
Stumbled into this crime. Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Yeah, I guess. But he's just there by accident. Yeah. He's a bumbling idiot. I think that could be fun. Anyway, shall we talk about trailers?
Forrest Gump would be a good one too, for him to riff off.
But I don't know. Does it work when you don't like? Is he sort of like wandering in and out of the prequel trilogy?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He might just
playing ping pong.
He might just do a flyby as Anakin's getting his legs chopped off on the volcano.
Looks out the window.
No, I've got the high ground. Just scramble up the hill, kid. Yeah. All right. Trailers. Let's do some trailers.
What's out trailer wise?
We had Wonder Woman come out. That was pretty cool.
We did. It was. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I really like the period drama, and the action in it looks really clean and crisp and exciting. And you got this one of the Wonder Woman's army girls come down on a wire across the cliff. She gets shot, but oh well. That looks pretty cool too at the start. I'm very excited to see Wonder Woman. But in saying that, I was excited to see Suicide Squad. I love the trailers for Suicide Squad. So I'm not getting my hopes up too high.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the way DC is at the moment. It's you have to kind of control your expectations. I think you've got no choice. Still, it looks really good. I'm happy to see more story here. It looks like a really interesting premise. This idea that World War One, the war to end all wars, is this massive event that kind of finally brings the Amazonians out of their invisible island to go and do things. I think that's quite fun. I think that's quite interesting and profound to do. Chris Pine's in it, looking Hollywood, which is good. Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good and really fun and interesting, and not kind of boring and jerky. There's no
Yeah,
jerks, not many jerks.
not many jerks. Not yet.
Not yet. There could be jerks to come.
Hmm. So is Wonder Woman? Is there an is we haven't seen a villain for Wonder Woman? It's just the German so far, isn't it?
Well, I assume it's that one German guy who,
Hmm.
yeah. I assume there's one German who's played by a familiar actor whose name I can't remember, who's been in things. Um, I assume he's the villain of the piece. I'm going to IMDb it and then see if he's got like some ridiculous superhero name.
Is it
Uh,
Captain Crunch? Because they could like name a cereal after him.
it could be Captain Crunch. Wonder Woman fights Captain Crunch in the War to End All cereal. Probably not going to happen. That doesn't sound
They make her a
right.
serial killer.
Yeah. Is it Danny Houston? Yeah, Danny Houston. Houston. He's got listed as he was Stryker in X Men's Origins, so I
Oh,
assume he's
okay, yes.
playing the exact same character. Yeah, he's not credited with a role, but I assume he's the bad guy in it. So, but yes,
Mm.
it looks
All
good.
right.
It looks
Yeah,
good
it
generally.
does.
It looks real fun.
Mm.
It looks different, I think, yes, to the other uh, Warner Brothers films we've seen so far. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yes. All right. Moving on, I guess. Just today, we got a teaser for Luc Besson's um, long simmering project that's going to simmer for a while yet. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. We've been seeing a few images since Comic Con, but we finally got to see some of that footage. It looks real good. It's a big, huge space epic starring Tony Leo, Dane DeHaan, and the mother chucker, Cara Delevingne. They're in space doing space stuff, running around in space suits with spaceships, Lexus spaceships, if you will, jumping, and there's pipes and aliens and a beach and Rihanna can shapeshift or something, and it's all just big and soaring. There's an amazing song, Because by the Beatles is over this, which I think really sets the tone here. I think this would look like a fairly boring epic without this song making it seem a bit more lighthearted and fantastical and surreal even. But it looks really fun. It's got aliens and space stuff and space, and there's so much space. It's just like space everywhere. Space. Are you excited for Valerian? You should be, because space.
Yes,
Space.
I'm glad it's a teaser because that's all it really does. It just teases you. It goes, look at this. It's very, very pretty. We've got some cool creatures in here. It's vibrant. There's some sort of weird heist thing going on. They're stealing something. Um, so it doesn't give you much of the story, which is fine for a teaser. It's just giving you a bit of a feel of what's to come, really. So yes, I'm very excited for it. And if someone told me that this was in the same universe, I know I'm not trying to make everything a franchise, as Fifth Element, I would have believed it because it just seems to fit with with that vision. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been or had the notion to make it since before The Fifth Element, and The Fifth Element was kind of what he could do in place of this with the visual effects that were around at the time. It's interesting to learn. I mean, I love The Fifth Element. It's one of my favorite movies. It's to me, it's the movie you watch when you don't know what movie to watch. You should watch The Fifth Element because it's so much fun. Yeah, it's. I think it's going to have that kind of wackiness, that same kind of here's a bunch of cool, like genuinely cool characters and fun stuff. Um, that that Fifth Element has. But, so yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be real fun, and it's got Rihanna as a space alien or a shapeshifter or something. I don't know. So it's going to be cool.
You
I'm
know,
excited. Like, yes,
for the effects they had in 1997, the visual effects, I could have done without the visual effect of Chris Tucker in a leopard skin onesie.
that is the greatest. Ruby Rod is amazing, young man, and you will love it. I,
Oh, that outfit. I just remember seeing that and go, what the hell is he wearing?
can I do the voice? Ooh,
Ooh.
carbon baby, carbon baby. Oh my god, I loved it. I love it all. John Goodman is in this. That's amazing. I didn't know that. John Goodman is a voice. Dane DeHaan, Clive Owen. That's right. Rutger Hauer. Oh man, everyone's in this. Herbie Hancock. What? I thought he was a jazz musician. Anyway. Um. Oh my word. Who else? I don't know who these people are. But yes, it's a big fun space epic with just so much space, and you should watch it because it's amazing. All right, moving on to something that's less big, but still kind of interesting. Life is a movie I didn't know anything about, starring Hollywood superstars Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds and Rebecca Ferguson. Um, they're in space again, more space. They're on. I think they're on the International Space Station, but I'm not quite sure. And they find alien life, um, and it's very much a claustrophobic space horror in the vein of Alien, because it's about an alien that attacks them. I think. And things go horribly wrong from there. And Jake Gyllenhaal looks creepy. It looks good. It looks like a better than average space horror, a less hokey space horror. Kind of fails in comparison to what we saw of Gravity when we first saw Gravity. Um, Still looks good. It's just not that exciting. It does some good things. The trailer does some good horror movie things. We don't really see the monster or what it could be, so that's good. That's real good as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, there's not much to really go on here except it's a moody space horror. What did you think of Life?
I loved it. I loved that it's a moody space horror. Um, I really like my horrors, and the more in space, the better. Cause what's more horrific than getting sucked out the window and just floating for the rest of your life? Um, even though you probably freeze and die before then. That's not the point. Actually, rest of your life. There you go. You're dead. Um, yes, I'm very excited. I got the feeling that the alien was quite small, like microscopic even, um, and it was kind of gonna kill him.
Yeah, you can't quite tell.
Yes,
Like they talk about like a single giant cell
yeah.
that they've discovered, but then presumably things move on from there, and it becomes much more dangerous than any single cell could be.
I like how it feels very small. It's very contained. There's only what about six actors actually credited in the movie. So I hope they just keep it like that, a bit like they did with Alien. Except this time we don't have a giant alien running around killing you. It's a tiny little one. Hopefully, I hope it's like a little like Chihuahua size thing that's out to get him. I'm very excited. Ryan Reynolds and seems to provide some of his quirky character to this, and Jake Gyllenhaal is just a scary SOB, I think. So yes, I'm looking forward to Life.
Good. Yeah, I think it'll still look good. I think it'll still be good. It just doesn't grab me that much.
I'll grab you.
Um, don't do that. That's inappropriate. Um, all right, let's move on to our last movie to discuss. And my God, have we left the best for last? Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage. The third in the Triple X franchise, after Triple X: The Next Level, I think was the second one, starring Ice Cube, and the President's Escape Train. I don't know. I didn't see it. I'm pretty sure there was a time in my life when Vin Diesel could speak clearly, and that time has passed. He's really, really bad at words now. It's kind of concerning. I'm worried that he's like has like is he so muscly now that like his throat muscles are restricting his voice? Is that what's happening to him? I don't know. It's just like I'm Triple X. It's I don't know. It's kind of this. I don't know. It's interesting because it just looks exactly like it looks like a Fast and the Furious movie. Let's be honest. It's got Vin Diesel and stunts and a team and cars, and he's wearing furs at one point, which is pretty gangster. Um, he has a jet ski motorcycle, which shit yes. He's got some dirt. I don't know. He doesn't seem to know how modes of transport work, which is kind of amazing. But he does have a jet ski motorcycle, which is kind of good enough for me, I guess. What did you think of Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage?
I'm not dignifying this trailer with a response.
Okay, but not even the jet ski motorcycle. What if it was called Jet Ski Motorcycle the movie?
It really didn't seem to. I couldn't figure out how it was working. Like, pretty
Yeah,
sure this isn't how it works. Pretty sure it's still sync, even though it's got a ski under it.
well, the ski provides. Well, it's like those Icelandic trucks, I guess. I don't know. It seems to go underwater at one point, which I don't think that would work.
It might
I
have
can't
had a
imagine.
snorkel. Does it have a snorkel?
I don't think it does have a snorkel.
This looks like such shit.
It's
Like,
interesting
I
though
watch
because
some shit, but I'm not watching this shit.
it looks. I don't know. It looks kind of. I don't know why they're picking this up again. Didn't this franchise die in 2006 or something? I don't
I
know.
wish.
It's such an odd film series to reemerge again. I don't know.
It's hard to say there's a cash grab when the trailer looks so shit that no one's going to go and watch it.
I
So
think people will. I'm sure people like the Fast and the Furious is set. We'll go and see it. I'm sure. I'm sure there's an audience for this kind of thing. It looks like a brainless action movie, and people like brainless action movies, so people will see it. I'm sure. I don't know if they should. I think it looks kind of fun. It does have a jet ski motorcycle. I think that'll sell a lot of people on this film.
if I go see that, I'm just going to be so cranky that how that doesn't work. Like when we watch Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl, and she puts an arm on her head to use as a rotor to fly like a helicopter, but she doesn't have the tail rotor to like stop her spinning out of control. Yeah, it just frustrates me.
Um, you were very upset about that.
uh, that's what you get for watching documentaries like Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl.
Yes, it was. We had many a discussion on the conservation of momentum after watching that movie. What an odd thing. I wonder, like, there is always that moment in films, though, isn't there? The one tiny detail that just throws people completely. Like in Snakes on a Plane, it's the fact that the anaconda has like rows of teeth. People are like, that's not how anacondas work. Never mind that. It's on a plane, you fools. Ah, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
how does the jet ski work? I was kind of watching it and being like, well, that's a bit fragile. That couldn't stay together. I don't know.
All right, what have you watched this week?
I've
What's
watched
good?
better. I think I've watched Miley. What's good? I've watched better movies than Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage. I saw the David Bowie opus, The Man Who Fell to Earth. It's long and confusing and kind of amazing. It's nominally about an alien, whose name I've forgotten, Thomas Jerome, someone, um, who is from an alien planet and he just kind of wants to get home and he's stuck on Earth trying to invent ways to get home. Um, it's nominally the plot. In practice, it's a lot more surreal and disorienting than that sounds. You kind of like the story takes about 10 minutes of the 2 hour running time to tell. The rest is kind of this impressionistic mesh that is kind of amazing and fantastic, but so bizarre. Um, I don't know how to describe it, and I kind of don't want to because you need to see it for yourself to fully understand how weird and amazing, but also just long it is. Um, it's there's a lot of just baffling, baffling set pieces. Rip Torn is in this. There was like a point in the movie where we kind of get the greatest cast list ever because it's Rip Torn, Candy Clark, and Buck Henry. Completely sounds like porn. Um, and yeah, it's just this. It's a very strange movie. Having said that, I really like the performance of Candy Clark as Mary Lou. I thought it was really, really good. Um, yeah, it was. It's kind of fascinating and baffling. I've seen it once, and that's kind of enough for me. I don't need to see it again, but I'm glad I saw it once. I think you should probably see it at least once, or try to, because I could well imagine people getting bored and wandering out because it's over 2 hours long. My God. Still amazing. And I saw that with the Auckland Sci-Fi meetup group, so that was good. Uh, I saw Solo Sunny. It's an East German film from Conrad Wolf. It's his last film. It was also the last film of the NZ Film Society Auckland 2016 program. It's real good. It's about a young woman in sort of 70s or 80s East Germany who's like a club singer, part of this kind of sort of this touring variety show where she's trying to make it as a singer in this scene, and I guess the only scene that exists in East Berlin. Um, yeah, it's really, really good. It's kind of through this sad part of the world. She's kind of clinging to life, trying not to go back to her old life in the factory. There's a fantastic performance from Renata Strosner, I think her name is the actress. Um, it's this very powerful, kind of crazy, well, amazingly strong-willed lady. It's really, really good. I really liked Solo Sunny. I think you should see it. I think it's a good place to start if you want to watch East German cinema. I also saw Hell or High Water, the Western that is out at the moment. Um, it stars Chris Pine and Ben Foster as some cowboys who are robbing banks to save the ranch to give to, well, for reasons they kind of reveal the extent of their plans over the course of the movie, and they're pursued by Jeff Bridges as this crotchety old Texas Ranger who's a few days from retirement, and this will be his last case. And his partner Gil Birmingham, who he is intensely racist towards, but in a kind of a larrikiny way. So yes, it's really good. It's a really, really strong modernization of the Western. It's not profound in any way. It's just like a good movie with good characters, some interesting car stuff. Um, it's real, real strong. It's a strong, solid film. It's not amazing. It's not an amazing, profound thing, but it's just a good movie, a good and entertaining story. You should definitely see it. Um, and lastly, I saw The Escape, which is the latest in the Driver series from BMW. So in the early 2000s, BMW put out a series of short films directed by established directors featuring their cars and the driver, who is played by Clive Owen. So you had some of these iconic short films that were all very fairly standardized and constrained. There was always some sort of such. That's very much the case here. This is a Neil Blomkamp film, starring, yes, as I said, Clive Owen is back, John Bernthal, and Elle Fanning is in this. It's the best I've seen in a while. He seems to work really, really well when he's constrained, I think. This is hard. I mean, it's what we've seen before. But having said that, it's done very, very well. Like, it's very economically made. We get quite a bit of information, quite very, very briefly. Yeah, it's a solid little film. Nothing exciting because it's about a BMW 5 Series and an enigmatic man played by Clive Owen, really. But it's still done quite well. Done quite well indeed. You should check it out if you're kind of like me, a bit put off by Blomkamp's more recent work. And yes, that's basically what I've seen. I've watched a lot of Deep Space Nine as well, because of course I have, and Deep Space Nine is good. So many quadrants. Got me thinking about Jan Quadrant Vincent, because I also watched Rick and Morty season 2. It's very, very good as well. If you've liked Rick and Morty, you should definitely check out Rick and Morty. It's good. Yes, so that's what I've watched. What have you watched recently, Terry?
Well, since we haven't done one for about 2 weeks, it's a hell of a lot. So I'm not going to go through them all, just some ones I'm going to pick out. Star Trek Beyond. I caught that on iTunes finally. I missed it in cinema. It is so fun, so good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and Sophia Boutella is so hot in that. I love the super pale white skin with the black things down her eyes. It's so hot. Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3, I rewatched. I remember liking it when I saw it at the cinema. I don't think I've seen it since, up until the other day. And it's so good. I forgot how good the movie is itself. And then watching it now as a parent changes things. Like the mum sending Andy off to college and then her having her little moment in the room and things like that. So you kind of get a different effect of the movie now. Now I've got my own kids, so it was good like that. I watched Minority Report, which is the latest in my Spielberg reviewed series that I've wrote about. My review is up. To make it brief, I'm in the minority. I didn't like it. It felt like a Tom Cruise action movie with nothing special about it. The things I did like the sci-fi effect with the precogs and kind of like the themes that get brought up in there. The cinematography was really well done, but pretty much generally it just felt like a Tom Cruise action movie, and I wasn't on board for it really at all. Jaws 3, or as it was originally titled, Jaws 3D. That was so fun to watch. It's a ridiculously dumb shark movie that makes no sense whatsoever. But you have things trying to fly out of the screen to you in 80s 3D style, and it was fantastic. Me and Emu Boy had a great time watching that. What else have I seen? Emu Boy. That's about it. I want to talk about. Dark Crystal was really good. I hadn't seen it before. This is the first time watch was Dark Crystal. Because I remember we had it at home as a kid, but I never watched it because it always felt a bit too scary. It was on the back of another movie, Neverending Story. Like we had a illegal copy that they've recorded Neverending Story and then Dark Crystal on the back of it. And every time I got to the end of Neverending Story, Dark Crystal started up, and it felt really creepy and weird. I never watched it. So I finally got around to watching that, which is good for me because I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's what I have seen this week. So coming out this week, so we're a little bit late or a little bit early. I don't know which way we're going with this. Arrival and Nocturnal Animals came out this week in the cinema, both Amy Adams movies. One is about an alien invasion, but it's not Independence Day. It's not like a big action flick. It's more of a cerebral drama alien invasion movie, which looks really, really cool. And Nocturnal Animals is about a woman who thinks her ex-husband's trying to kill her because she read his book he wrote and he thinks there's dark truths in there and there's threats in there and stuff. So so she's a little bit freaked out about that. And that one's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it as well, and he does really, really good in these creepy roles. So that's what came out this week, November 10. Next week, we've got Fantastic Beasts, Daniel Blake, War and Everything, and Morgan. And pretty much, I reckon Morgan and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them are probably going to be the picks out of that week. I don't know if Daniel Blake is going to be that great. It's about the couple of people who are on the benefits, the government benefits. One's a 58-year-old man, the other one's a single mother of two, and they're struggling to get money out of the government. Like the older man, he can't work, he hurt himself at work, so he can't work, but they still need him to go look for a job, and even though he can't get a job, so they want to give him money, and the other one's got similar problems. And War and Everything actually does look kind of like a fun buddy cop movie. About these cops who try to blackmail all the criminals until they try and blackmail the wrong one. And that looks really, really funny. It's by the director who did Calvary, and I really liked that last 2 years ago in 2014. So, yes, that's this week and next week because we're in the middle of weeks. We'll put this out at a weird time. Is there anything different in New Zealand?
So we have this just out on the 10th was Arrival, Nocturnal Animals, and Death Note, Light Up the New World, adaptation or continuation of the manga, I'm not quite sure. Yes, on the 17th we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I'm Not Madame Bovary, Julieta. Operation Avalanche is getting like its proper release here. It was out at the film festival, and then I think it was out for like a day. And now it's getting like a proper release. This is my movie of the year that I have seen twice already and will now see again. So you should definitely try and see it. Yes, War on Everyone is out. Morgan is undated in New Zealand at the moment, so I'm not quite sure when that's coming out, if ever. Hopefully, because I really want to see Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan looks good. It's an AI movie, and they've created this AI, and now do they have to destroy it? Is she killing people? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I really like Anya Taylor-Joy in it. So, well, not I haven't seen her in it yet, but I really like her performances that we've seen. She was in The Witch, and I believe she's in something else that's coming out. So that looks really good too. What was it?
That M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that looks good.
Yes,
so
I'm excited for Arrival, probably more than anything. I want to see War on Everyone, see Operation Avalanche again. You should see it; it's great. Guess I should see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but I don't want to. But I should. But I don't want to.
Yeah, well, see, that's the same with me. It's like, I'll watch it, but I'm not jumping out of my skin to go and see it.
I should see it. I think it'll be interesting.
It's got that guy's face in it.
Oh, that's a terrible thing to say, that Colin Farrell.
That's not who I'm talking about, and you know it.
I do. That guy in his face.
I hate his face.
It's so great at being like a space weirdo.
Well, it's not great about trying to be a woman in Danish Girl.
Okay. But, I mean, does he have to... Yeah, I guess, he's very well suited to saying that he will harvest that planet tomorrow if it will keep it from her.
Is the cough part of the quote?
Yes. See, that's the acting genius. He didn't die when he's... Oh, God. Oh, God. It's too hard to be Eddie Redmayne. Oh, now I want to see the movie. Now I know how hard it is to do that. Oh, my God. Yes. No, he's an acting genius. I've never appreciated it until just now. Yeah, I should see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Looks like it'll be fun. Wizards in Prohibition. Maybe they'll drink some booze. Who knows?
Some butterbeer.
Yes. probably. All right, I'm back. But yes, I want to see Arrival very much so, and Operation
Yeah.
Avalanche. See Operation
hopefully,
Avalanche.
I'm hopefully going
Great.
tonight to Arrival.
Oh, probably. I got a thing on tomorrow, so don't know. We'll see when I can get to it.
All right.
Okay, so that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, cool. If you want to read our main blog, it's at sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sfdfmoviereviews. You can find us on Twitter at sfdfmoviereview, singular. If you just want to listen to the podcast, we're at soundcloud.com/sfdf. That's also on iTunes. Just search SFDF on iTunes. You can email us at inspace@gmail.com. And if I've said all these things too fast or what have you, you can find all of those and other good stuff linked down the right side of the main blog, which again is sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. All right, that's about it from us. I'm going to go have some mint ice cream.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good, minty fresh. So yes, you say goodbye, Terry. Don't
Goodbye,
have any
Terry.
of my ice cream. Yes, all right. Okay, so that's it from us. All right, bye.
Bye.